And we're back for more of Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age Struggle for Freedom. Last time we defeated the Elder Worm, the one covered in spores and everything, and now this time we're actually going to be crossing through the Paramina Rift all the way to the next town. I forget what it was off the top of my head. I'm sorry. It has been a little while since last recorded this. I think it's Mount Burr. Yeah, it's Mount Burr. Mount Burr. There we go. I guess just to kind of talk about how the week's going. It's going all right, I guess. Trying to find work, especially with the ship's Amazon post, can be a bit. It can be a bit tough because it's not the ship. Either the ship's already been taken up, or sometimes there's just not really too much work to do by the time you get there. I mean, it is summertime, and 4th of July is upon us, so I'm guessing people must have already gotten their, their sodas, their hamburger buns, their hot dog buns, their hot dog wieners, their hamburger patties, already all set for their 4th of July, for the 4th of July cookout, I suppose. Because everyone's going to be getting ready for the fireworks events that'll be coming up in a little bit. At the time of this recording, anyways. Alright, so I guess pretty much other than that, I know that it was been another couple weeks I did this again mainly because of work, as well as me just trying to, I've also been distracting myself a little bit as of late with the newer games that have been coming out as of late. So again, I apologize if I've not devoted enough time to this at the moment. But I will try to get back to it. Although I can talk about the new games I've been playing so far. One of the ones that's been getting, I don't want to say a mixed response, but mostly most responses from a technical standpoint. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. It's a fun Metroidvania game. What I played so far, I've already uncovered 1/4 of the castle map, anyways. And it looks like it's a little bit of ways to go. I originally got the Switch version of the game, which after playing for a little bit and after reading some reviews about it for myself, it has a rough start right now in terms of graphics, because I know when I first started to play the game, I noticed that the brightness was quite dark. Like I had to turn up the brightness of the Switch version to be able to see anything. And by the time I do see something, the graphics kind of look a little bit muddy, and the tattoos on Miriam look... Oh, sorry, I have a bit of a phone call here, folks, so just give me 1 second. Whew, sorry about that, guys. Did not mean for that interruption. That's another thing I've been doing for the last few weeks. I've been in touch with job recruiters, and unfortunately, not many of which so far have been quite successful for me. They keep asking me about a job that takes me at least an hour or 2 hours to drive in, and to be honest with you, considering the traffic, that could probably take longer. And I just I guess what I'm trying to say is that I'm trying to find a job where the travel is convenient. Not so much I have to go far out of the way, just to be able to make something that I can make elsewhere, you know. Because for me personally, I mean, if I have to go to somewhere like Boston to Cambridge or something. Oh, welcome to the Paramina Rift. That's the name of the new snow area that we're gonna be traveling through. I guess to kind of be short and to the point. It has not been going the best for me right now, but I'm still gonna keep looking. You know, I mean, I might have Amazon, but I need more than that eventually. Anyways, aside from that, now what's interesting about the Paramina Rift is that it contains ice-themed monsters, one of which is weak to electricity. So if you have something like the Storm Spear, for example, for Balthier, he can probably just take it out in one shot. You should also have I want to say you should have Thundara at this point, or at least Thunder. I mean, you definitely will have Thunder at this point. I don't remember if you have Thundara. I know Shades of Black is a substitution, but Shades of Black, as everyone knows, can just call any spell. And it's also a bit unfortunate I don't have the Gambit that can target elemental weaknesses. It's mainly because I'm trying to save more money on the newer equipment right now. Because the most important thing for me to prioritize for is the abilities, because I think abilities are going to be pretty important. Equipment for me is a bit secondary, because I would be able to at least save up for it if I have that to look forward to later on. This area also has one of my favorite tracks in the game. It feels like a bit of a. It sounds like it's a bit of a. It sounds like something you've been dreading for a while, and now it's finally here. That kind of feeling. As far as 12 soundtrack as a whole, I guess I didn't get a chance to talk about that yet. I actually like 12 soundtrack. It's got good music. And it does fit some of the atmosphere of the dungeons quite nicely, particularly the Hidden Mines. That's a great dungeon theme.
Empires parade down city streets while refugees walk barefoot through the snow.
And so I sue for peace, to stop short war and ease their suffering. My father will choose peace.
Will he now? You sound sure of yourself. You can never know another, even your father.
Don't take it the wrong way, Kay?
This crisis would not end were I gone. The Senate hates the very fact that House Solidor exists. By necessity, we must find reason to silence them.
Necessity? Ah, yes, necessity. Does that word free you, I wonder? You show no hesitation to solve matters with blood.
The sword of House Solidor cannot be left to rust in doubt. It was you, Excellency, who tempered that sword.
Is this your idea of vengeance?
It is my idea of necessity. If we do not act now, it is not only our future you imperil.
So, you would dirty your hands to keep his clean.
My hands are stained with blood. I see little reason to stay them now.
So they are. And so House Solidor lives on.
And we're back. All right. After that little scene, I mean, I guess, you know, you almost can't necessarily blame Larsa for wanting to believe that his family will reconcile with the people of Dalmasca, but it almost feels like at the same time he's also a little bit naive to the fact that his brother is more power hungry than he lets on. I guess as far as he's concerned, that definitely plays a part much later in the game, when Larsa sees his brother's Vayne's true intentions. When it comes to his ambition, I suppose. Although, one would have to wonder, why didn't Larsa see this coming in the first place? Was he completely unaware of Vayne's hidden plans? Because again, at the beginning of the game, the one that led the charge from Arcades forced Kingdom Dalmasca to sign their peace treaty, which is their terms of surrender. You know, it just makes me curious about how come Larsa didn't have any involvement in it at that point, or oversaw what his brother did and wanted to take a stand for it sooner. I'm not sure if it's because maybe he felt like there's a silver lining in behind that at first, and that he can try to really fix things like the family claims they are. I'm not sure. But anyways, we're at Mount Burr. There are some new items here we can buy. I will grind for them off screen, but I do sell some stuff here. The Arcana, I wait a little bit until it's appropriate later for me to sell them, because I believe that in this game, I'm not sure if it was changed in this patch or not, but if you sell Arcana, particularly higher Arcana, in conjunction with the other material that you only get, I think, one time only, then you have access to some of the more powerful weapons in the game. So with that in mind, it does become something to really look forward to, for sure. As you can see, there's a lot of brand new items too. The elemental weapons you can buy, but I would also recommend you keep your non-elemental weapons in case you ever come across an enemy that absorbs that said element, or at least take that a little bit better. This is actually a little bit interesting here. We actually have the diamond knuckle, and it actually has an attachment to the knuckles. We got the onion claws, and I'm actually admittedly curious about the thing. Well, we got Soul Eater as well. Consume HP to heal damage by 1.4 times. Heals undead. Power Knuckle, though, I definitely grab, if I recall, because I'm actually curious about the Diamond Knuckle itself. Because I don't recall. Yeah, I think there's a new thing that's been added to this version of the game. You being able to get diamond knuckles, which is interesting because I believe I might have mentioned this earlier that Brawler on his own is kind of a bad ability. I mean, yeah, you can do more damage on bare-fisted, but generally speaking, weapons tend to just do way more damage anyway. So having Brawler is kind of a moot point. Though I suppose you would need like a ridiculous amount of strength in order to be able to have Brawler be somewhat effective. I'm not sure why the original version of 12 didn't incorporate that in some way, but alas, it was what it was, I suppose. So it's good we got like Knuckles now as equipable weapons. Anyways, as you can see here, I decided to stroll around the town for a bit. Just to see if there's anything interesting to show off, or if there's any treasure. And I don't recall there is any treasure. At least not in this area. Alright, so our objective here is to meet the head of this temple and talk about how we can deal with nephocite here, because as Ash said before, that she needs something that can combat against nephocite. It was nephocite that won Arcadia the war against the Rosarians, the Dalmascans, I should call them. Damascus is a neighbor to the Rosarian Empire. And they also had Nalbina, but then Arcades took over Nalbina, formed their own little fortress, and then took command of the war from there by taking out Damascus. Well, not take it out, but rather take over. And here comes a little bit of a revelation here to progress the story.
Is he sleeping?
No, my child.
Whoa.
I do not sleep. I dream. For reality and illusion are a duality. Two parts of a whole. Only the mirror of dreams reflects what is true.
Anastasis, your grace. I am
Lay
Ashelia.
down your words. Ashelia, daughter of Ramanas, I have dreamt your dream. Who better to carry on the Dalmascan line than she who bears the Dawn Shard? Your dream of a kingdom restored is known to me.
Grand Kiltias, then give us your blessing. Grant the Lady Ash her accession to the...
This is something you might reconsider. My little Emperor-in-waiting. You called and I have come.
This is the man I wanted you to meet. Believe it or not, he is a member of the noble house Margrace, rulers of the Rosarian Empire.
I am but one of very, very many. Try as I might, I could not stop this war alone. Thus, I came seeking Larsa's assistance. Alcide Margrace at your service. To think I stand before the Lady Ash, it is truly an honor. I see it is true after all. stunning as Dalmasca's desert bloom.
In Arcadia, Larsa. In Rosaria, Al Cid. They dream not of war. Should empire join with empire, the way will open for a new Evilis in our time.
Gran Kiltias, you speak much of dreams, but in the real world, war is upon us.
Gran Kiltias, I was told my coming here would prevent this war. I was to assume my father's throne and announce the restoration of Dalmasca, treat with the Empire for peace, and persuade the Resistance to stay their hand. I have not come all this way to be asked to reconsider.
A word from you and the Resistance would stop cold, and Rosaria's pretext for joining the war scattered off to the four winds. This was what we had hoped. Alas, circumstances change. A full 2 years have passed since your reported death. Were it to become known you are still alive, I fear it could only worsen our current situation.
Because I am powerless to help.
Nay, in fact, it has little to do with you.
Then what? If Lady Ash were to extend her hand in friendship, perhaps I could then persuade the Emperor. His Excellency will solve things peacefully.
The Emperor Gramis is no more. His life was taken.
Father.
What possible cause could we have to lay hand on our Emperor?
A deception and an outrage. The Senate will not stand for this.
A viper amongst our senators?
With Chairman Gregoroth as its head. With what dignity remained him, he confessed to the poisoning and passed his own
A
sentence.
viper with many tails. Much of the Senate is culpable.
We had no choice but to strip the Senate of authority and assign powers of autocracy to myself until such time as order...
Spare me your lies! I see the serpent coiled here before me!
Trace, you speak too freely.
Zargabath! Do not tell me you join in his mama's farce!
With Rosaria poised to invade at any moment, our leader must have a free hand.
The once great House Solidor is now reduced to myself and my dear brother Larsa.
Surely you would not go so far. Vayne Solidor! As Judge Magister and upholder of the law, I hereby place you under arrest.
You misunderstand. Vayne did not make himself autocrat. It was the very Ministry of Law which you serve. Do you see it now, Drace? When you bared your sword at His Excellency, you bared your sword at the law.
You wear the mama's motley well, Bergen. Such strength. Inhuman.
Zargabath, take the Alexander. You will accompany Bergen and bring Larsa back to me.
Sire.
Your Excellency, Lord Larsa was placed under my charge.
Oh? Perhaps you mistook your orders then. I can see no other explanation for why you were reporting and conjecturing on my doings to my late father.
Your Excellency.
A hound begging for scraps at the Emperor's table. Would you serve another master, hound? You may fulfill your duty as Judge Magister before us all. She has been tried and found guilty.
Your Excellency, I beg you reconsider.
Do it. I care not. Live, Gabrantha. Protect the young lord. Protect Larsa.
Forgive me.
Pray be quick.
And so House Solidor lives on.
Let us suppose you approach the Empire with a peaceful resolution. The late Emperor Gramis would have lent you his ear, that much is certain, but we are dealing with Vayne Solidor. Should the princess return, he would claim her an impostor, or to tempt the resistance into battle. Vayne wants this war, that much is certain. As our ill luck would have it, the man is a military genius.
The dreams have told me thus. To reveal yourself would imperil us all. I see war, and Vayne's name writ bold on history's page.
Arcadia's banners fly high. They are making ready for the coming war. According to our latest reports, the Western Armada prepares for war, under Vayne's command, no less. The newly formed 12th Fleet has already been deployed. Oh yes, the Imperial First Fleet stands ready. They'll be underway as soon as the Odin's refit is complete. And there is more. The 2nd Caravan Expeditionary Force is being called in to replace the missing 8th, so there will be no gaps. The largest force ever seen.
And then, the nephocite is the coup de grace. Grand Kiltius, your grace. I spoke to you of my succession. Let us put that aside. Should I become Queen of Dalmasca now, powerless as I am, I can protect nothing. With a greater power at my disposal, perhaps then.
It is the nephocite of which you dream?
I require something far greater.
To wield power against power. Truly, the words of a human child.
I am descended from the Dynast King himself.
Indeed. Then you have but one choice. Seek you the other power Wraithwall left.
Does such a thing exist?
Journey across the Paramina Rift to the still shrine of Miriam. There rests the gift he entrusted to the Grand Kiltius of his time. Seek it out. The Sword of Kings can cut through nephocite. Why he would entrust the power to destroy nephocite, the instrument of his greatness, to another and not to his own progeny, I cannot say. Awaken Shelia Benagan and take up your sword, or your dream will remain but a dream. My dream too fades into day.